Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. Got a breaking story out of Ohio. A train derailment is being mitigated right now with massive fires and explosions. I'm going to show you in just a second. But what's very interesting, and with my background as a hazmat technician and specialist, there is a controlled explosion that is happening. It already started, but I want to cover this right now. I'm going to share my screen of what happened. Very, very interesting. So we are literally witnessing, of course, ads like crazy. Ohio governor warns of grave danger of death near burning derailed train, so crews will try a controlled release of hazardous chemicals. Now check this out. This is the scenes from earlier this morning out of Ohio, where literally we saw a massive train derailment. And what is happening right now is crews are working to mitigate this incident. And so there are evacuations underway. And you could see from just the scenes how big this was when it first occurred earlier in the night. And now we're looking at the fire crews having to mitigate this incident. Now, something that I find very interesting, and this is quite rare when you cannot take the materials out of the tank cars, you have to, as far as the usable valves, the ones that are actually on there, you have to sometimes figure out creative ways of being able to get that material out. And as you can see, the burning process is not stopping, and it's too dangerous for fire crews to get close to this because of the sheer amount of flammable or explosive material. So what they're going to do is start to drain the actual material slowly and have a controlled explosion, try and burn it off in a pit. Now, here's some scenes from the fire engines last night. You could see how massive this fire was, and you could see right here just the absolute devastation of this area, right? But what they're going to do now is try and control the amount that they take out of the unburnt, destroyed tanker cars. And this is what they're going to do with it. So let's get rid of all these ads. Sorry about that. You got to love Google ads, right? So it says right here, the evacuation zone surrounding the fiery derailment of cars carrying hazardous chemicals has expanded to 2 states, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine said. Armed with new modeling information, the governors of Ohio and Pennsylvania have ordered immediate evacuations for a 1 mile by 2 mile area surrounding East Palestine on the eastern edge of Ohio, DeWine said Monday. Those still in immediate area of the derailment in East Palestine could face grave danger of death, DeWine said. He said those in other nearby areas could face severe injury, including skin burns and serious lung damage. And he's not joking, actually. What happens when we get on scene of a hazardous material spill like this, the first thing we try and do is immediately separate the people from the hazardous materials incident. But then what we do is we cordon off the area and we start to look at weather. We do what's called weather modeling and figuring out which way the hazardous smoke can go and how big of a blast zone we are dealing with. And for plume modeling, we're looking at which way, like I said, the direction of the smoke that is carrying hazardous toxic fumes are going to affect people. And that's where we figure out how we're going to evacuate and how far of an area we have to evacuate out of. Now, what's very interesting to me is usually the hazardous material explosion of fire mitigates itself, meaning that the train cars derail, they break open, they blow up or burn up. But sometimes when they don't, we either have to go with connecting them to the proper connections on the tank car, whether it being on the bottom of the tank car or the top, depending on what kind of tank car we're dealing with, or do what they're saying right now, and that is cause a hole in one of them to be able to drain the material into a controlled area. In this instance, it'll be a pit, and then burn off the material right there, because it's just too volatile sometimes to be able to repump into a truck. It's just the best way that you can deal with it. So when people say that you need to stay indoors, shelter in place, as we put it in the emergency services sector, it's very important that you listen to this. Now, it says right here, one rail car, and this is very interesting, in particular has been a focus of concern because its malfunctioning safety valves are preventing the car from releasing the vinyl chloride inside. A Columbiana County Emergency Management Agency official and Norfolk Southern spokesperson told CNN on Monday. Officials have begged residents to leave the area for days as fears about air and water quality have mounted. The threat escalated as an inferno burned for a third night. And I apologize when I said it's correct. This has been an ongoing issue, but I said the other night, it is absolutely blows me away, as long as I've been a firefighter, how when we evacuate a city or a town, or even an area of a town, when the town is on fire or a hazardous materials release, how people do not do that, do not leave. I myself have had to shut down a main artery in California, Highway 101, 20 years ago, because I had a massive propane tank, larger than what you find running down the highway, just running out of it. And, you know, the explosion, if that would have actually blown, would have literally leveled 20 homes. And we were having a hard time getting those people to just exit their homes. This is one of those situations that is very serious. And when it goes, if something happens and you have what's called a BLEVE, a literally massive explosion, you would be shocked at the devastation an explosion from a tank car could actually do. So I wanted to throw this out there because, you know, the news only gets so far these days, and these are the kind of ways that we could get this kind of news out. If anyone is in this area, or if anybody is on the front lines of this incident, please comment down below, because I think it's very, very important to be able to share this information and get this out there. If they're telling you to evacuate because they're having to literally, it just takes my breath away when people don't listen to these evacuation orders. Guys, I hope you have a great day. I hope you got something from this. With that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.